Hey everybody, I'm Lawrence.
And I'm Sarah.
And this is Another Beer, Please. And tomorrow is Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
And we all know on Cinco de Mayo, everybody wants to be Mexican. Mm-hmm. Kind of like everybody wants to be
Irish on
St. Patty's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those of you who don't know what Cinco de Mayo is, it's not Mexican Independence Day. It's a celebration of the Mexican Army's victory against the French. I believe it was in 1862. So basically, we're just having a big old party after a win. Mm-hmm. So we decided we're going to step away from the Idaho craft beers for a bit, and we're going to talk about Negro Modelo. Negro Modelo is the only Mexican beer I've ever really enjoyed drinking, and there's a big reason why. Because it's German style. Okay, well technically it is a Vienna style lager. And they use, it's a lovely looking beer, isn't it? I love that
gorgeous.
Nice color, almost a bronze color. And it's got a lovely aroma to it. This Vienna style lager means that they slow roasted it to give it a more complex flavor than you typically get from a Mexican beer. And they use a couple of malts, dark malts and chocolate malts. Oh no, caramel malts and dark malts, or black malts, to give it that darker color. They use a couple of Geneva style hops, I believe. Oh, Galena hops. Sorry, beer nerds, my apologies. And I do not drink typically Mexican beer.
No.
People will hand me a Corona with a lime sticking out of it, and I used to always say that if you got to put fruit in a beer, then it's probably not worth drinking.
You probably just made a lot of enemies just right there.
I probably did. Sorry, Grupo Modelo, the brewery in Mexico City that actually makes this delicious beer, they make Corona, and I apologize, but I always say, if you like Corona, drink it. And if you love putting a lime in your beer, drink it. And if you want to celebrate Cinco de Mayo tomorrow, celebrate big time. But I'll probably just be drinking the Negro Modelos. Now, let's take a drink.
Oh, that's very refreshing.
It is. It's still a lot of Dunkels, basically dark beers in German. They'll be a little heavy, might be a little overpowering at times, but this is still a very nice light lager-esque style drink.
Right.
I enjoy drinking Negro Modelos, and it's got just a touch of sweetness to it because of all the malts. It's a very low IBU. It's only 19 IBUs, so it's right in our personal flavor palette. Now, of course, you can drink anything you want.
Right. As long as it's beer.
As long as it's beer, or cider, or brew, or I guess tomorrow a lot of tequila will be drunk.
Right. That's fine too.
That's fine too. Not me. I do tequila maybe twice a year, and boom, then, she takes me home again.
We got great stories about that.
Maybe we should do those someday.
Oh, gosh.
So, if you're going to go out there and celebrate the Mexican victory over the French, you're going to be eating a lot of spicy Mexican food. And I'm not a huge spice fan, but I like a little burn.
Right.
And you might be doing some of those jalapenos. You might be just chowing down on some real spicy Mexican food. This is a great beer to go with spicy Mexican food. You're quiet today.
I know.
I got enough personality for both of us most days.
You do. You really do.
It's not because we overindulged in Negro Modelos, although we did pick up a 12-pack. And that's the thing. Negro Modelo is easily obtained anywhere in the United States. I believe Anheuser-Busch bought out the rights to do all the distribution here in America, so it's kind of an AB beer. But don't step away from the fact that this is just a great Mexican traditional beer. They've been brewing since 1926.
That's a long time.
It is a long time. So there's been Negro Modelos or Modelos, their lager Pilsner style beer. Very popular. The Corona is hugely popular. Corona Light is for those people who can't handle real beer, I guess. But Negro Modelo has more of a flavor characteristic that I enjoy. There we go.
Nice.
Oh, you guys are used to me burping by now. I like the malts. I like the caramel malts. I really enjoy the dark malts, giving it that beautiful color. I really enjoy the effervescence of it. It is really, like you said, a very nice, light, refreshing beer.
It is.
But I think that sweetness is what really works best, because Mexican food is so savory, so flavorful, and sometimes so spicy. I've had some homemade salsas where somebody thought jalapenos were the primary ingredient, and bam!
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
Actually, Powder House is going to have their jalapeno beer on tap tomorrow.
Okay. So see, it's still a great day to go out and enjoy your local Idaho craft beer. But if you're just going to hang out with your friends, do some barbecuing, grab yourself a 12-pack of Mexican beer, Cerveza. You want to get out there. I've heard some people say, oh, there's a difference between Cerveza and beer and all that. If you brew it with hops, malt, barley, and water, it's beer. So I'm going to enjoy it as a good beer. And this really is a good beer. I think even if you're a fan of German beers, this is a nice, there you go. This is a nice, easy drinking beer, especially if you're going to be hanging out with friends all day. Maybe you're going to go down to the park. Maybe you're going to be barbecuing in the backyard, you know, do some carne asada, get some real spice going there. This beer really helps to calm the fire.
I think so too. Oh man.
It's got that lovely kind of bronze, roasty looking color. It's very clear. Not an unfiltered beer by any means.
No.
It is just a long-standing, well-done recipe. And I swear, the thing about Modelo Negro or Negro Modelo, I always like to juxtapose those terms. It is better with every drink.
I think so too.
I think. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, this is also one of those well-balanced beers that you could. That is very sessionable. Yeah,
you get just enough of a hop finish to make it clean, but it doesn't take away from the sweetness. And really, it just kind of prepares your mouth for the next drink. And it's just nice and sweet. It balances the food beautifully, and it balances itself very nicely.
Although I have to say one thing, for me personally, though, I like to drink this when it's ice cold, and for like how we reviewed some beers. When they get warmer, they get better. Though, for me, Mexican beer should always be cold. Yeah,
I really enjoy it ice cold, right out of the ice in the bucket, right out of the fridge. It's really nice and flavorful, all on its own, right out of the cold. It pours very nicely. The head doesn't last very long, but it's got a really nice effervescence. It's not overly carbonated. It's not undercarbonated. It's just a nice, enjoyable, you know, beer for Cinco de Mayo.
I'll be celebrating tomorrow.
Yeah, gonna have to make some nachos, which are probably not Mexican in any way. I'm sure they're as American as
probably
noodles.
Just offended like half of the population.
I'm not
of
trying
the
to be
US.
offensive. I love Mexican food.
No, I know.
If you've ever been to a tamale party and had to stir oh gosh, I've never had more sore muscles partying in my life than at a tamale party. But the end result is phenomenal. I love the pork tamales, I love enchiladas, and I love Negro Modelo. I could drink a lot of this.
I have before. It doesn't help that my uncle's Mexican, so...
Well, that's true. Hey, how's it going, Uncle David? Shout out to you and all our friends who are going to be enjoying Cinco de Mayo tomorrow. Now, of course, today is May the 4th, so nerd moment.
That's right.
May the 4th be with you. But
I was going to do this because I...
No, that would piss people off. May the 4th be with you, says Gandalf. Harry, you're a Jedi.
Say, I'm a what?
I've never found a Star Wars themed beer. If you know of a Star Wars themed beer, tell me. I will try it. Lightsaber IPA.
Oh gosh.
Oh my goodness. Darth Vader Stout. Somebody has to make a Darth Vader Stout.
That would be a black stout.
It would be black as night. Black as your soul. And then you could have a Darth Maul Red Ale. Because of, you know. Kind of got a little off track there. Sorry, folks. Not to take away from Cinco de Mayo, but today is Cinco de Cuatro. May the 4th be with you. But I really, back on track a little bit here. I do enjoy Negro Modelo. I do enjoy the fact that it's a Vienna style lager. I like the fact that they put in the caramel malts, the black malts, give it that color. They slow brew it, so more of those flavors come alive. And as always, when you get one, get it out of the bottle whenever you can. Canning and bottling is for transferring beer. To be honest, it's really not for drinking beer. Glasses are for what drink beer. You get to create the head, you get to release all those flavors. If you're just drinking beer out of a bottle, it might as well be something that you don't like, because you're not going to taste it that much.
Whoa.
You all right?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's allergy season, and we're outside because it's so gorgeous. And this is a great springtime beer because it looks
definitely
dark, has a lot of flavor to it, but it's still light and easy to drink. And next we're going to be moving into some IPAs. We're going to introduce you to our friend who's a big IPA fan, and he'll probably help us introduce you to the world of IPAs if you've never done it. And we're going to try to find the ones that are easily accessible. Now, sometimes you get lucky with breweries like we have here in Idaho that create IPAs that are just amazing, even for people who don't like IPAs. We were telling you about our late beer review with Barbarian Brewing and the Odin's Table beer. But with this, you can get Negro Modelo anywhere. And so you can go and grab a case, a 12-pack, go out there and have a great time, enjoy some phenomenal food, and then once you finish your first one, you know what time it is. It's time to ask for another beer, please. Oh, that's good beer. I can kind of tell the allergies are bugging you.
The allergies are really bothering me. Oh, with all the wind that we're having.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of quiet. I'm just like, I'm going to fall asleep.
But you keep this up, you're already making the Penn and Teller comments. Next thing you know, I'm going to be doing the entire review, and you're just going to be quietly sitting there making faces at me.
I'm fine with that.